Welcome back to another rebuild. Now, we've had success with Aston Villa and we had success with Everton, but can we bring success to Spain? And can we finally get a Champions League trophy to Valencia? Now, if we look at their history and their competition history, they've never won the Champions League, finished runners-up in 2000 and 2001, but haven't got anywhere close since. They last won La Liga in 2004 and have not finished inside the top three since 2012, so a big ask. And the last trophy they won was in 2019, which was the Copa del Rey. But aside from that, it's been really, really slim pickings since then. Before that one, it was back in 2008, which is a really long time ago for a team like Valencia. So you know how it works. If you watch my other two rebuilds, we're going to do 5 seasons. We simulate the season, but obviously we do all the transfers, the tactics setup, and everything like that. But we do obviously simulate. Now, the tactics we're using is, as I always do, it's my Phil Parkinson tactics, 5-2-2-1. The two attacking midfielders are so key to this system actually working and working well. But I'm pretty confident based on our best 11 that we will be able to get this working. In terms of club finances then, we have a transfer budget this season of £1.7 million, which is absolutely nothing. And we're already over the wage budget on day one. I've not even got a cup of coffee from the coffee machine yet, and we're already over the wage budget. That tells you how difficult this one's going to be. So, let's have a look at where we're predicted to finish. If we go to the league and we go to season preview, predicted to finish 9th, we're 100-1 to win the league. Now, getting past Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Real Madrid is going to be massively difficult. But you know what? We're going to give it a really good go. For me, success in this is trophies. That will signal success in this rebuild. If we can get a couple of trophies, be it European, domestic, and top 3 finishes, I'll be really happy. Really, really difficult to do, especially on a shoestring budget. But let's see how we get on. So we're going to do the pre-season of Season 1, then we're going to bring you back and find out who we signed and who we let go and how we were able to improve the team with absolutely zero cash. All right, then, so we are right on the eve of Season 1 of the Valencia rebuild. Now, let's have a look at just how we have improved the squad or changed it. Now, in terms of players that went out, we sold these guys here. So, Maximiliano Gomez left to Trabzonspor for 2.6 million. Cobra Lien went on loan. Oris Ratchis on loan. But the big moves came later on in the season, or in the pre-season here. So Dimitri Folquia went to Real Sociedad for 5.2 million. Marcos Andre went to Almeida for 3.4 million. And Tony Lato left for 1.5. In terms of who we brought in to improve the squad, we went to FC Midtjylland and we signed Evander for 1.5 million. And then we actually funded the transfer of Matías Sakharov from Atletico Mineiro by those sales. So we've improved our 2 attacking midfielders, which is really, really good. I'm actually quite confident in this team. I feel Edison Cavani will get lots and lots of chances, and if he can take them, then we will have some success. But it does all depend on injuries. Obviously, we've got a couple of players who aren't registered. These need to go, so we can get rid of these now and just replace them. But obviously, we're going to be bringing some youth in because, as I said, there are players we haven't registered. But it's going to be an interesting season. The La Liga the La Liga season is obviously always dominated by 3 teams, so it's how far we can push those teams will determine how successful this rebuild is. Let's get on with the first season and see how we get on. All right, then, so the first season of this rebuild is in the bag, and let's see exactly how we got on. Now, in terms of the league, there is massive frustration on my part at how it finished. The reason for that is we were always 3rd or 4th for the majority of the season, and then we lost our last 3 games. And I mean, some of these were winnable. If we look at who we played, let's go to the end of season here. Cadiz, they finished 16th. Athletic Club, they finished 3rd, and Atletico Madrid, which we had beaten them in the Copa del Rey final, which was a bit frustrating. But we finished 7th overall. We're only 3 points off the Champions League spots, which isn't bad. Now, what that does mean is because we won the Copa del Rey this season, we get Europa League football. So we've achieved our first target of getting European football back at the Mestalla, which is amazing. And we have captured our first trophy for a couple of years. Now what we need to do is push on and make sure that when we get into position to get Champions League football, we really do push on and we make sure we finish in the top 4. That is the big ask for the next couple of years. But hopefully when the transfer budgets get announced, we'll also get a nice little bonus because we've got European football and recorded a trophy win. I'm not so sure, though, because Valencia's finances are a bit shaky. Anyway, let's push ahead. Let's see who we signed up until the new season, and let's see how we got on in Season 2. But first of all, let's look at who we brought in. All right, so we're about to start our second season in the Valencia rebuild. Now, season preview is that we predict to finish 5th, 33-1 to win the league. Real Madrid are favourites as pretty much bloody always. But anyway, we will see what we can do. In terms of transfer history, if we have a look at what we've done this year. So, £9 million has gone out. Jamais Dementia has gone to Al Shahab for £9 million. We signed Marcao for £15.5 million from Sevilla. Now, other players that we did manage to bring in, we got Nico confirmed on a full-term deal. Seko Fofana for an upfront fee of just £5 million and a mass amount of add-ons, which were just ridiculous. And we managed to bring in Kelechi Iheanacho. Again, small upfront fee, lots and lots of add-ons with installments over the next 3 years and that kind of thing, just to be able to spread the cost out. But I mean, we could afford it. Now, obviously, Edison Cavani is still considered the number 1 striker. However, if I'm honest, I think Kelechi Iheanacho this season will be taking over that from him, with him being 36 years old and extremely slow. So to me, that will be the big change here. Is Kelechi Iheanacho. His finishing on this game, by the way, is just outrageous. So fingers crossed he can fire us to the Champions League. So we're right on the eve of the season. We play Barcelona in a testimonial before we start the fun games of the season and the Europa League. Let's see exactly how we get on. All right, then. So Season 2 is in the books. Let's have a look at how we got on. Now, in terms of the league, we underperformed based on last season. We finished 9th, 58 points. So slightly worse off. Really annoying because we got 64 last year, and 64 points would again got us European football. Our top highest rated player in the league was Gabriel Paulista, who plays for us at 7.39 out of 10 over the course of the season. If we look at the squad, then Kelechi Iheanacho scored 26 goals in 38 appearances. Evander, 11 goals, 15 assists. And Edison Cavani also got 18 goals over the course of the season. But nobody else pitched in at all. It's pretty poor. Competition-wise, we got knocked out of the Europa League at the knockout playoff rounds, and we were knocked out of the Copa del Rey in the 4th round. So that's frustrating. Now, what needs to happen next season is, because we only have domestic trophies again, it's a real opportunity for us to bounce back and put some pressure on the top teams. We will obviously have a look at ways we can improve the team and see where we can go. I think, honestly, the defense will need looking at, but that's something I'll be taking a look at. Anyway, we'll come back in a second, and we will have a look at who we signed leading into the new season, and where we go ahead of the 3rd season in La Liga. All right, so we're right on the eve of Season 3, and what a big test this is going to be. Media is predicting us to finish 4th with 15-1 to win the league. Now, in terms of the players we've signed, we've gone big this summer. We have to perform because we've spent big. If we don't perform, we're going to get sacked. It's as simple as that. Kelleher came in from Liverpool for 31 million, could rise to 34 million based on performances. He's going to be our number 1 goalkeeper this season. We also signed Marcao from Sevilla, Ndombele from Spurs, Eze from Palace, Anal Hemendjizodic, I think I pronounced it right. If I haven't, I apologise, Sheffield United, and Luis Felipe from Real Betis. We actually spent £91 million. Sorry, we haven't spent 91. We've spent, because 15.5 million was spent the season before, but we have spent nearly £100 million since the end of last season, which is mental. Our squad, though, it looks good. So we are, in a position where we can play our best 11. We're going to stick with the tactics because they do work, and I actually think Iheanacho this season, with Eze and Zaracho behind him, will score some goals. Nico and Musa in the holding roles, and our back line does look very, very promising. Cameron Kelleher in goal. So, big season. We've got to qualify for Europe this year. We haven't got any European competition this year due to our failings last season. Let's see how we got on in Season 3. Okay, so Season 3 is in the bag now. Let's see how we got on. So we're back in Europe. Now, that is really, really important to keep the players we've signed happy, because a big thing we promised them is that we will push on for Europe. Now, we did finish 7th. We were, and it's so frustrating that we were top 4 for so long, but with towards the end of the season, we just hit the scuppers a little bit. You can see we only won 1 in the last 5. Had we won a couple more of those games, could we have got up here? It's very likely, but still 7th, and we are in the Europa Conference League. Kelechi Iheanacho was the league's top scorer with 40 goals, 14 more than Robert Lewandowski in 2nd place, which is absolutely fantastic. In terms of the rest of the squad, if we have a look at it, Mateus Sequeiro got 13 goals, and Ebre Eze was our most productive attacking midfielder with 9 assists over the course of the season. So not a bad time. In the other competitions, let's have a look. We're knocked out in the 4th round of the Copa del Rey. So far, 3 seasons in, we've qualified for Europe twice, and we've won the Copa del Rey. It's not been a bad rebuild so far, but we've got two massive seasons now. And I said the rebuild would be successful if we could get top 4. And we have to get top 4 in these last 2 seasons to really make it a successful season, successful rebuild. The squad I'm quite happy with. I don't think we'll add any players to it this summer unless anyone leaves. But let's, I'm not going to set that in stone that that's not going to happen, because knowing my luck, somebody will want to leave or I'll get a massive transfer offer. So let's see what happened over the summer, who left, who came in, if anybody left or came in, and then we'll crack on with Season 4 and get the next 2 seasons in the bag and see how we got on with the last 2 years, and hopefully we can get some Champions League football in the bag and try and push Barcelona, because if we look at the schedule, I mean, towards the end of the season, as I say, we struggled. But we were beating, early on in the season. We did quite well, really. We just, we had too many draws here. That's where we've struggled. So consistency is the key thing. Let's see how we got on over the summer and who we added to the squad. All right, then, so we're about to get started on the Season 4. We are predicted to finish 4th, according to the media. The odds of us winning the league are getting shorter and shorter with every season, every pre-season, every transfer window we have. So something is improving, but we've only got 2 seasons left. Champions League football is a must. 14-1 to win the league, though. So it was 33-1 last season, I think. So it's getting better. In terms of who we've brought in, let's have a look at the transfer history. We have gone big. So last season in total, we actually spent a massive £200 million. Obviously, that isn't all for this season, because Cameron Kelleher cost us $35 million with add-ons. Now, Guendouzi, Patterson, and Salisao, they have all got big add-ons in their contracts. Now, the 53, the 56, and the 59 are not what we paid up front. They are including installments that are being paid over 3 years. So they are massive. I think they're all about £15 million each in installments, which means we have saved massive amounts of money on those players in this window. What we aren't doing is we aren't selling players, because I've now got a squad that I want. So for the next 2 seasons, we're in a place where we can really try and challenge. Our starting 11 looks really impressive. Our only real weak area is right here. Patterson is going to be back up to Rendell Correa. This season's got to click. We've got to get Champions League football this year. I don't know if we're going to do it. We are in the Europa Conference League, which we are expected to win as well. And we have our first game against Valmira, the first 2 qualifying legs up first, before we start our La Liga season against Athletic Club and Sevilla. And the big news is we moved to our new stadium, although it still says the Mestalla. We have moved to our new stadium, or we're moving very soon. Let's have it. Sure, we did. It said it in this. There we go. Year built 2025, 55,000 seater. So they've improved the Mestalla, which is strange considering we've been playing there all along. But it said 71,000 in the window. But I don't care. I just want Champions League football this season. I've got to get it. We've got to get it to make this rebuild successful. Let's see how we get on in Season 4. Can we do it? Put in the comments who you thought we should have signed as well. Let me know how you think this has gone. Definitely not been as successful as the Villa save. That is guaranteed. Let's see if we can get into that top 4 this season. All right, then. Season 4 is in the bag. Now, let's see how we got on. And I am gutted. I'm absolutely gutted to say that we didn't qualify for the Champions League, which means unless we're not going to see any Champions League football in this rebuild, which is gutting. It really is. But we finished 5th, so, it's not too bad, but we were 7 points behind Villarreal in 4th place. Kelechi Iheanacho, our top scorer in the league with 26 goals, and Ebre Eze led the league in assists as well, which is great. But we delivered a European competition. We beat West Ham in the final of the Europa Conference League, so that ticks off that box. We've now delivered a domestic and a European trophy to Valencia. Remember, they hadn't done it for ages before we took charge. So 2 out of 3 things have been completed. The last one we have to do is to get in the Champions League. If you look at, we struggled early on in the season, and that's where we lost that 4th place, is right here, where we were down at 18th, and then we struggled. And we didn't get up to 6th until, 3/4 of the way through the end of the season. That shows where we struggled. Let's have a look at the team then. So over the course of the season, Kelechi Iheanacho played 54 games and scored 44 goals. Ebre Eze, 48 games, 16 goals and 20 assists. And next to him, Matthias Sakharov, 55 games, 13 goals and 18 assists. And also weighing in from left-back, Jose Gaya, 18 assists. Absolutely brilliant. Also coming off the bench in purely European football, we didn't play him. We did play him a couple of La Liga games. We registered him later on, they registered him later on because I hadn't registered him. 27 goals in 34 games, and he has got a transfer lined up to, where's he off? He's going to Monaco, and the end of his contract, so we'll replace him this summer. So it's a busy summer for us. We've got 1 season left. Can we get top 4 football as we finish our time with Valencia in La Liga, and then we look ahead to new pastures? Let's see what happened over the summer. All right, then. We are about to start our final season of this rebuild, and it's not been the most successful rebuild, but I think in terms of what Valencia were doing before, we are doing better. So it's been successful from that point of view, just not achieved what I wanted to achieve. But let's have a look at what we predict to do this season. So the media want us to finish 3rd, or they're predicting us to finish 3rd. And again, we've shortened the odds for us winning the league. We're now 9-1. In fact, we're only just behind Barcelona. And Real Madrid are evens. They're not even, last year I think they were miles odds on. So everything's a bit closer this year. I think our team is better this year. And we're predicted to finish above Atletico, which is impressive. If we look at the competitions then, so we've got the Europa League, where we're expected to reach at least the semi-finals, and the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey. In terms of players we've brought in then, let's have a look. There are a couple of players leaving. We've actually not brought anybody in since the back end of last season, but we have sold £63 million of players, including Thierry Rendell Correa leaving to go to Manchester United, which was a massive kick in the teeth because he's been so good for us. His actual performances have been impressive. 13 assists in that first season was really impressive. But players we brought in, so we spent a total of 19 million. We actually went for a couple of free transfers that didn't come to us. We tried to sign Paul Pogba on a free. He stayed with Juventus. We tried to sign Timo Werner on a free as backup to our current striker, and he went to Bayern Munich. So we got Christopher and Kuko on a free from RB Leipzig, Strahana Pavlovic from Red Bull Salzburg, and Douglas Santos for his contract was ending, but we wanted to pay to get him in. So there are a couple of potentials there. If we look at the transfer centre, we haven't got anybody coming in right now, but we still have players who are looking to leave. So you don't know. We won't be bringing anybody else in. Our squad is at full capacity. This season is massive. It's our last chance to achieve what we wanted to do and get that top 4 finish and get Valencia back into the Champions League. And let's see if we can get it done. And let's see if we can get another trophy. If we get another trophy, it'll be 3 trophies over the 5 seasons. And I'll be really happy with that. So let's find out how we get on. All right then. So season 5 is now in the bag and the end of the rebuild has arrived. And I'm sad to say that we have not been able to achieve my overall goal of getting Champions League football back to Valencia. We finished in 8th position, 53 points. We were so far away from even getting Europa Conference League. 11 points behind Athletic Bilbao. We actually finished 19 points behind Sevilla in that 4th spot. Inacho again, 27 goals, which was brilliant if we have a look at the team. 41 goals in all competitions. Christopher Nkunku got 14 assists, but nobody else really turned up. Jose Gaya, who got 10 assists over the course of the season. But yeah, it was a struggle on the whole. In terms of the Europa League, which we were in again this season, we were knocked out in the round of 16, and we were knocked out in the second round of the Copa del Rey. So all in all, pretty much a disaster of a final season. Definitely not the best rebuild we've done so far, and quite an unsuccessful one considering the amount of money that the owner let us spend. But still, we delivered 2 trophies, which we hadn't done previously, and we delivered Valencia a European trophy. So that again isn't all bad, really. It's just frustrating that, if we look at the Europa League, they'd won it in 2004, and we then obviously delivered the Conference League in 2026, which was their first European trophy for 22 years. So there is that. We delivered their first trophy for 19 years. There is that as well. It's just frustrating we didn't get Champions League football. But anyway, we go on and we go on and we build and we build and we'll go for more. I think we will venture to a new country in our next one and we'll see how it goes. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please remember, hit that subscribe and hit that thumbs up and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And make sure you check out my tactics reviews, which drop every single Monday. And they'll be dropping another one next week. Anyway, I'll see you all soon. Have a great weekend, guys.